Hi, I'm Sam. I'm the content specialist at KeyMedia Solutions, and today I am joined with Caleb Hoover, the owner of Hoover Heights Media. We just got done with our KMS 10 at 10 live Facebook show, so if you watched that, thank you very much. This is the extended interview. I'm going to be asking Caleb a few questions, and we're really going to dive, I think, in depth on your process, some of the challenges that you face, and also get into why you as a business owner or somebody involved with the marketing in your business can use videos.
Yeah.
So before we get started, Caleb, once again, could you maybe introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, my name's Caleb Hoover. I own Hoover Heights Media. We do video production and photography. Cami does all the photography and she does a phenomenal job. Mm-hmm. So visit our Facebook page to see some of her work, which is outstanding.
Yes.
I focus more on like the video production side of things, mm-hmm. and we make videos for nonprofits, businesses, brands, mm-hmm. individuals, that type of thing. So, yeah.
Very cool. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been doing? I guess working having your own business, Hoover Heights Media, and then how long have you been interested in video?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so Hoover Heights Media has been around since about 2012.
Okay.
Started by doing weddings, that type of thing, mm-hmm. Just to kind of work on storytelling, that type of thing, and then but I knew that's not where I wanted the focus to be. I wanted it to be on more of like a corporate setting,
sure.
That type of thing, doing storytelling for businesses. Mm-hmm. And before that, I was actually doing some techie work and video and photo for a nonprofit based in North Dakota and South Dakota. And they informed me that they're not going to have the position any longer. Mm-hmm. So my wife and I talked and we're like, well, let's try doing this on our own.
Cool.
Let's try doing it, and some of the skills that I was able to develop, that type of thing, I translated well into that. But one of my favorite classes in college was actually a darkroom photography class.
Oh, yeah.
So I was a psychology major, and I like to think that I still use that with like helping people, feel comfortable in front of the camera.
Tell their story, put together their
that's
story.
What's paying that student loan, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But one of my favorite classes was actually a photography class, where we processed all the film in the dark room, and you got to see the image literally come to life in the chemicals. It was amazing.
Cool.
And so working with my dad's old camera from he got it in I think the late 70s and traveled the world with it, and so I was using that camera to take these pictures and just learning about framing things up. But I remember even before that, early high school, middle school, we'd make music videos, kind of running around with a camera on our shoulder and that type of thing.
Yeah, so they weren't your phones.
They weren't the phones. They were the big ones where you put the VHS in.
Channel 9 News, running.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely. Very cool. Well, awesome. It sounds like, video is something that has really interested you for a long time. And I like what you said about, working with clients to tell their story and how important that is. I imagine that has some challenges of itself when you sit down and say, it's really easy to say, okay, tell me your story, but it's another thing to really put that together.
Yeah.
So one of the questions that I had for you was, could you tell me a little bit about what are some of the hesitations or some of the challenges that you face when you're talking with clients and you're trying to say, you need to be doing video, or you're talking to me because you're at least interested in video.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you face when you're having meetings with those clients or trying to put together their story?
Well, one of the biggest things is budget, that comes into play, and I think what some people realize is that I can produce videos for them cheaper than they were thinking it was going to be.
Sure.
So I think sometimes that is kind of a hang up with people where they might not even send me an email or something because they think the price just might be way out there. I'm going to roll in with this huge production truck and it's just going to be a mess.
Yeah.
But I think what people are finding is that I can help them create these videos, and it's not super overly priced, expensive, that type of thing. So I think a big hang up is budget. And I think another one is, I mean, just taking the time to put it together. You know,
Sure.
like usually kind of the process I go through is, you know, I'll buy them a cup of coffee and we'll just chat about their vision for what they see and the videos that they want to put together.
Yeah.
We'll chat about that and then kind of move through the process of scripting, having an idea of what you want to talk about, not necessarily like a written out script, but having a good idea of what you want to be talking about, that type of thing, and then all the way through shooting and production, like post-production, and then distribution, that type of thing. Where was I going with that?
Some of the challenges, but I imagine so. But that's actually a good point, because another thing that I wanted you to talk a little bit about is we're in the online environment. Both of you and I, even though you specialize in video, a large part of that is online video, and myself is online content.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have noticed is how the speed of everything has changed, and has someone has put their foot on the gas, and everything is go. What's next? How many of those stuff can we shoot? And so I imagine that has transferred over into how your process works in like editing or shooting videos. So can you talk a little bit about how you've been able to handle the speed increase of which you have to get things done, because everything's now. So how do you work within that sort of stressful environment?
Well, I mean, with some of the tools like Facebook Live, I mean, people can put video out there like instantly. I'll go in and I'll help them produce a video that they can put some money behind. It's going to be professional looking, that type of thing. But yes, timelines and the speed at which people want to get things out does increase, especially when you're working with like marketing agencies, when they have a whole campaign going, that type of thing. I think the way that I'm able to kind of get that process going is really I'm a one-man show. I do a lot of, you call it run and gun type things, like shooting. So it's not super. I don't know how to put it. Like rolling in with the production truck. And
exactly.
I mean, it's going to be you and your setting. It's going to be you doing just everyday work. So if you actually have work to do, like I can be in there and get those shots. You know what I mean? That type of thing.
A testament to that, though, however, because you said not the whole production crew. But I think there's a misconception that people, when they think about, okay, I'm hiring a professional to do a video, they think they're going to roll up with the Channel 9 news van and pull out all the dollies and everything like that. We don't really live in that video culture anymore, especially when we talk about online videos, because some of the best performing videos are the ones that really focus on your culture, your message, and aren't this commercial style video that you might see on traditional advertising in between your show. And it's just, that's not really what the best performing video is anymore. It is that, like you said, that run and gun type stuff where like, this is what we do, this is how we can help you. Contact us.
And like, don't get me wrong, like I will set up, if we're doing an interview, like I will set up lights and I will make it look good.
Of course.
But at the same time, having like all the grip people and that type of thing is, it just helps increase the speed at which you can get things out.
Things done, and that is incredible, and that's continuing to be more important.
And really what it comes down to, the basis of every video is, the most important thing is the story itself.
Absolutely.
The production comes second, but the content's the main thing. The story is the main push of the video. And I think one of the things that some of the research that I've done is, like 60% of consumers, your customer base, will have a negative view of your brand if they see a poorly produced video. So some people ask, is it all right if I still do, you're producing this video for me, but is it all right if I still do like the Facebook Live thing, that type of thing? And I said, absolutely. I mean, getting that content out there is fantastic. However, having a professionally produced video that you can toss some money behind, especially with Facebook algorithm changes, that type of thing, I mean, everything is just going to cost more money to put behind to promote that type of thing.
Yep. And the money that you put behind something, you want to make sure you put it behind something that it's created for a purpose.
Yeah.
And it's created for a purpose to succeed at, what you are intending to use it for.
Right.
With a lot of homemade videos or business videos, it's okay, we're going to shoot this and we're going to see how it does.
Yeah.
That's not with a professional video, that's not the intention of it. Like you mentioned, the process is, let's figure out your story. Let's figure out what the purpose of this video is going to be.
Absolutely.
So that you can create something that's specifically designed for this purpose.
Yeah.
And then that's something that you can put your money behind and, see success in whatever it's supposed to do.
Right.
So, very good. Moving on. So another question that I have is, could you tell us about a time that you were shooting that maybe you ran across some challenges in the field? Because it is, a situational type stuff where everything's different, for a different client, you have to do different things. So have you ever run across a certain situation where you had to kind of on the fly either fix something or do you have anything like that?
Yeah, there's a couple things because we mentioned kind of the run and gun style. Yeah. Sometimes that leads to problems because the lighting isn't the best, that type of thing. And so you kind of have to counter that or get in front of a window to do it. There's some challenges there. Sure. Rather than setting up the big lights and having everything really staged, that type of thing. Another thing. Okay, we live in a really cold environment.
Yes, we do.
It's freezing outside right now at the time of this.
Yes.
That creates some challenges as well because you want to try to get as much like outdoor footage as possible, or fly the drone, or like whatever that entails to get some of those shots. And sometimes your eyes just start watering and you can't control it. Now those are like little things, obviously, but another challenge is, another challenge is sometimes people just don't feel comfortable in front of a camera. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you're shooting an interview, which is totally, it's like I'm not comfortable in front of a camera. Yeah. But having that does create some challenges because you kind of have to coach people through, and so it's almost like a regular coaching session where I said that's where I hope my psychology degree is coming in.
So what are some of the things that you do to help someone feel comfortable in front of a camera?
Just get to know the camera a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the things I think people can realize is that you're not necessarily talking to the camera itself, but you're talking to your audience. Yeah. So you're talking to the people that are going to view this video and communicating that way, not necessarily to a camera. Another thing that is helpful in those areas is you can do like an off-camera angle to where they're actually talking to you, like to you rather than the camera. So that creates a little less tension. Yeah, a little more conversational. Yeah, a little more conversational. Having two cameras set up where you can cut different things. If like the first part of a phrase is really good, but then it kind of drifts off. But then this next take, like the good part is the second part of the phrase. You can kind of cut those together with the two camera angles. And I'm sure that helps the person being interviewed because they know like, okay, if I mess up, then. And then there's some things like on camera that help too. Like if you're talking, like if the person being interviewed just keeps talking through their thought. Yes. I don't know why I did that. But it's a good, I think everyone got it. Everyone listening without talking knows what you're talking about. Keep talking through your thought, because you're going to stumble upon words, and that's fine. Yep. But just finish the thought, you know what I mean? And then the beautiful thing, and I just said beautiful, the beautiful thing about video is that you can always do another take. Yes. Yep. So if I'm being interviewed, maybe not live video like we did earlier, but okay. So if I'm being interviewed and I saying, "Hi, my name is Frank Hoover from Hoover Heights Media." Well, I just messed up that line. Yeah. Because my name's not Frank. My name's Caleb Hoover of Hoover Heights Media. But the awesome thing is that we can do that take again. Yep. Boom, there we have it. Yep, and making sure that the person being interviewed knows that, and try and make it as comfortable. So I usually, like little things, I just usually try to have people like tell a joke before we get started. You know, sometimes I'll hit record and they won't know it, and we'll just have a conversation.
Yeah.
There's little things like that, little tricks, because interviews can be challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but.
And I like to think that we do a good job here. You know, we created this nice environment.
This is a nice space.
Put them on a couch in case you want to take a nap before or after.
Or right now.
Or right now.
I don't know.
Just wait for a little longer.
Yeah.
And then I'll leave you alone. Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
So for the last question, I want to ask one more question because I think it's important. I think a lot of people watching this interview are interested in taking advantage of online video in some form or another. And I think maybe a lot of people out there are hesitant to take that first step into it, or maybe they're hesitant to even think about what that first step even is.
Right.
You know they need to be doing video, but what does that mean? Does that mean, start putting money towards something? Does that mean get their phone out? So I was wondering if maybe you could talk, if you have any recommendations for businesses or for individuals that are looking to take that first step into video. What would you recommend that some of those first steps be? What are some of those first things to consider?
Yeah, that's great. We talked in the Facebook Live video about different types of videos, education videos.
Yep.
Educate your audience about a product or about the services you offer, or educate them about just the overall brand. Creating an emotional response in your viewers, so maybe client testimonials, that type of thing. And then overall sales, we have a product that you need in your life, basically. And it's just a straight up sales video, that type of thing.
So it sounds like one of the first things is to try and decide what you want the videos to focus on.
And like we said earlier, the most important aspect of any video is the actual story, the actual content of that video. And everybody has a story. Every business has a story. Whether that's a history of your business, whether that's you're changing locations of your business, everybody has a story. And that is really what you communicate. There's a Social Media Examiner on Facebook, which is a great site. You should go check it out. But they started producing a show on their Facebook page called The Journey, which it takes them through the journey of them planning this big social media event. So where like people from all over the world are going to be coming to this event, and so it's the journey of like planning that, all the complications that come from that, all the awesome milestones that come from that, everything kind of leading up to this event. It's called The Journey, and it's a great.
Cool.
You should check that out. I mean, and it's basically just behind the scenes stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, where somebody just carries a camera around and then they just cut it all together.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I think some businesses, and this might be another, going back to the other question, a hold up on doing video is that sometimes people want things maybe to be perfect, look perfect, that type of thing. But you know what? It's all right to be messy.
Yeah.
In that, it's all right to use the term embrace the messy, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Where capturing some of those moments, maybe some of the struggles that you have if you're a business owner, maybe some of the struggles that you have as a business owner, some of the complications that you run into. You know what? That's going to teach other people those things.
Yeah.
And how awesome to have that documented on video, and other people are going to learn from that.
Yeah.
It's all right to embrace the messy parts of owning a business, running a business, that type of thing.
And that'll create a sense of transparency, so
Absolutely.
it makes that relationship and that connection
Yeah.
better. And just to add one thing, I imagine another really important thing to consider doing video is try and figure out where you're going to be distributing the video.
Yep.
Because I imagine there's a big difference between a Facebook video that's going to be used for a 30-second ad or a video that's going to be on your website as a landing page video.
Yeah, totally.
So trying to identify where you're going to be using this video, that might be able to help along the process. And so if a client came to you and said, I need X amount of videos, they're going to be used for 30-second Facebook ads, then you as a professional know, okay, here's some good things that we can do
absolutely.
with that. So.
And there's usually a formula that I kind of follow when it comes to that. I mean, a Facebook view is considered 3 seconds. Like, what? 3 seconds? Are you kidding me? Average views are about like 9 to 10 seconds.
And there's a metric that Facebook will count 10-second views. And so if that 10-second views is high, then you know, like, man, that's a success.
So one of the things I have with the clients I work with is we try to have that branding, like the branding, whatever type of video it is, have that branding within, you know, the first 5 seconds of the video. You know, open with some kind of hook and then have that branding right there, right at the beginning. So if people are going to tune away from your video, at least they see
subliminal
a company name or your name or whatever it is. So
awesome. Very good. Well, that's all the questions that I have, and I think that's all the time we have for today. So once again, I want to thank Caleb. Thank you for being on and letting me ask you a few questions today. Before we leave, how can people get a hold of you if they would like to ask you more questions or if they would like to talk to you personally?
Absolutely, you can visit hooverheightsmedia.com. There is a contact page right on there. It'll come directly to me. Ask any questions that you want. Another good tool is Facebook, facebook.com/Hoover Heights Media. You can contact me through that, direct message. Also Instagram, Hoover Heights Media. You can direct message me on Instagram there.
So a lot of ways to get a hold of you. And if you have any questions about Caleb, you can also reach out to KeyMedia Solutions, and we will put you in contact with him as well. So that being said, Caleb, thank you very much for being on today, and continue to follow KeyMedia Solutions, our website, and also us on social media to receive more of this great content. So thank you.
Thank you.
Boom, perfect.